Hello everybody, thanks again for joining me again on another one of our Soapy Time adventures. But today we are not making soap. As you can see from this hot mess right here, if you can tell, we are making bath bombs. So I thought I'd do something a little bit different today. I can't remember, have I done a bath bomb video before? I can't even remember. But let me zoom in just a little bit so you can see. So I've been making bath bombs all day. That's why there's such a hot mess right here. And I got 3 batches in and I thought, why am I not filming this? So I thought I would film with you a couple of batches that I'm making. I usually do 2 colors, sometimes 3. The ones I'm doing right now, I am trying to get caught up with my bath bombs for all of my scents. So what I have started doing is I now have a full line of fragrances, and I have a bath bomb, a soap, and a lotion that goes with it. And then in the wintertime, I usually will have a body butter. So we are making bath bombs. Let's see, what we're going to do first is we're going to do my Island Citrus. And my Island Citrus is actually the volcano type. And I use the volcano type from Nature's Garden. I'm trying to decide what colors I want to do. Maybe I'll do a purple. Purple and, how about we do purple and orange? That'd be pretty. So I'm going to try this heliotrope from Mad Micas. Of course, if you guys have been here for one more second, you know that all of my micas come from Mad Micas, unless I've been gifted some or I have gotten some from somebody I just purchased. A lady was going out of business and I purchased her supplies, and she had a whole bunch of Crafter's Choice micas. So I've got those that I haven't started going through them yet. I have one color, I think was yellow. But while I'm yakking, I'm going to start measuring out. I buy my baking soda from Sam's Club because it's just as cheap. It's just as cheap for me to buy it from Sam's Club and do a pickup and have them put it in my truck, and I drive it home, and my husband and I bring it downstairs, mainly my husband because I can't lift very much. And it's just as cheap as that as for me to buy it in 50-pound bags. So sodium lauryl sulfacetate is derived from coconuts. It is a natural bubbling, it's not natural, but it's a bubbling agent that helps, it prolongs the life of your bath bomb, so it kind of fizzes a little bit slower, but it also adds some bubbling. Also, the next thing I'm adding is my cream of tartar. And then I also add some Kaolin Clay. And I'm doing the math here so I didn't tear out. Come on. This stuff loves to clump. There we go. And besides my citric acid, that is my dry ingredients. I sift those in. I always use a sifter because I don't like clumps. Okay. Now, I think you can see, yeah, you can see that right there. Let me put this out of the way. And as you can tell, I've been making batches that's already colored for me. I'm going to add my water. I do a 50-50 blend of water and rubbing alcohol. Oh, whoops, I added too much. Good thing this is just water for bath bombs. I found that going 100% water, even in dry Utah, a lot of times it would still make the bath bombs really heavy and really wet. They wouldn't activate, but they just seemed really heavy and wet, and took a lot longer to, a lot longer to dry than I wanted them to. Okay, now I'm going to turn this on, so it's going to get a little noisy. I always add my water in first, and then I start working on my my other ingredients. And I do a fractionated coconut oil and a shea butter or cocoa butter. Usually it's shea. And because I'm adding micas, usually I'm not talking when I'm making bath bombs, so I never think about covering this. There, now I can keep talking. Because I'm adding mica to this, I'm adding some Polysorbate 80. And Polysorbate 80 is half the amount of your oils. So if you're adding 30 grams of oil, you add 15 grams of Polysorbate. And then the Polysorbate doesn't like to blend in very well. So I just use, I have this little whisker. I actually got this from some lady. It's called Norpro. It's a powerful little mixer. I love it. I don't know if it's me, if it's just the mixer itself. But I hope you can see that. It's just white right now. There's nothing else going on. Then I'm going to add my fragrance oil. Make sure I get the right amount. I used to do 3% fragrance oil. I've reduced it down to 2% fragrance oil. Just because I'm not really seeing a difference between 2% and 3% as far as the smell factor goes. And while this is mixing, I don't know if any of you have this mixer. I got this mixer, I'm trying to think who actually recommended it. It was somebody on YouTube. Was it Holly with Missouri River Soaps? It might have been. But she recommended this mixer, and this mixer at the time was like, I want to say it was $89 or something. But it does not get the powder on the very bottom, so you have to get in there and scoop it up, or you end up with unmixed powder. Now I'm going to add my citric acid again. I measure out everything in grams. I just started measuring everything out in grams for my bath bombs. I used to measure it all out in ounces, but I've been trying to switch over and do a little bit better with measuring out in grams, just because it's a little more accurate. This is why I always sift, because I get great big clumps. Sorry, you can't see that very well. I don't know if you can see this. When you add your colorant, it kind of goes like a little. My batch goes a little kind of an orangey yellow color, and I don't know if that's because of the fragrance oils that I'm using, or if it's a Kaolin Clay or what it is. But it does go a little bit of a kind of a ivory color. And I'm just going to let that mix up. Now I can tell when the batch is mixed. I don't know if any of you other bath bomb makers out there can. But the mix actually starts making a different sound. And it's starting to go there right now. I don't know if you can hear that. But it's like a... And once it starts making that sound, I know that my citric acid is getting good and incorporated. Beautiful. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out about half my batch, which is about 1650, 1,650 grams. Is just about half. And then what I do is this is where I don't have much orange left, so I'm just going to put in there what I have left. I'm trying to go through all of my Micas before I buy more. That was Mad Mica's Tangerine Dream. And let me tell you, it is a dream. Okay, I'm just going to give that a little mix. I'm actually going to stop it and get the stuff from the bottom. I don't know if you can see the white that comes, it's unincorporated color. Not mixed in. Oh, this smells so good. Ooh, I think orange and yellow, or orange and purple is going to be really pretty. Is it kind of tropical? Not really, but you know. This scoop is not, I don't even think it's a half a teaspoon. So I put 4 scoops in there. And that has seemed to be working out pretty good. To be honest, I've never used the heliotrope, I don't think, in a bath bomb before. I'm pretty sure it's bath bomb safe. I guess I'll find out. Ooh, this is really good. Can you guys see that color? With this orange. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be so cute. So the press that I am using today is from Bath Bomb Express. It is a huge mega mold. It holds 16 bath bombs. I have tops that go on it, and then it comes over here. If you can see, you can't see it, but I have a press over here. I'll raise the camera up when we get to that point so you guys can see. But it presses it. I have a air compressor upstairs that presses to this. Basically, it's a hydraulic press, and it presses the bombs. And then I have a what's it called? I have one of these. I don't know what it's called. This board, and you put it on top, and then you push the bath bombs out. I'll show you. You'll see. I might have to do some moving around. The one thing I do not like about mixing colors and splitting off is that I do tend to find these little white little balls that didn't get color incorporated into them. So in the darker colors, I try to mix it up really good, so to help with the white speckling. Oh, there's some white in there that didn't get incorporated because I did not mix it. I'm going to have to maybe go back to my KitchenAid for bath bombs at least. I don't know. I don't make a ton of... I make bath bombs, I don't know. Not a couple times a month. Maybe once a month I'll make bath bombs. I'm hoping that the way I have this set up now in my retail locations, I will be selling them a lot more because I like to layer. I like to have a soap, you know, and then some lotion, and if I'm gonna go take a bath, which is very rare, I wouldn't mind having, you know, that scent helping me. Okay, now let me see if I can move this over so you can see what I am doing. All right, to make this easy on me, what I have done is I just plop a handful of one color into the mold, into each cup. I fill it about halfway full. I have a little bit more left over for than to do the 16, and so I usually use a little hand press and get a bunch out of there. And then I do end up with some spillage, and so then I just mix those together and I end up with some speckled bath bombs. And I try to be a little precise, but not really. I'm not like measuring them out or anything. I do go through and put a hole in each one. This helps with floating. And now I'm going to do pretty much the same thing with my orange, but I'm not, because I've already filled these. I found that if I just dump it in, I end up with bath bombs that are quite heavy and like way more in the middle than on the outside. So I try to now, if I wanted to, I could go through and put a little bit of purple on top, but I'm just not going to worry about that. What I like to do to make sure that these, the only issue I've ever come across with this press, with these presses, is that they tend to, they get like a little air pocket in the top of the top cup, and I end up getting like a powdery mess, or they're flat. And I don't want that, so what I do is I go through and I put a little peak on each one. And then another thing that I do, which I will show you in a minute, is I actually tip this over onto a cookie sheet, hold it onto a cookie sheet, flip it over, and then flip it back. And that has really seemed to help. Now, I don't know, maybe that's not really the way to do it, but it works for me. Oh, and I put orange in there. That was supposed to go in another dish. Nah, you know what? It's not going to matter. It's all going to mix in. Okay, then I just take my bath bomb. I do not squeeze these. And I just give it a shake. And out comes the bath bomb. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Ooh, I love that color. Oh! So glad that I did that. And then I put them in. I have these round plastic, I don't know what they're called. Not mooncake molds. Somebody knows what they are, but they're like the plastic molds for bath bombs. And I buy them. I bought, I probably have 1,000, probably have 500 pairs, so 1,000 halves that I use. And let's see. You know what? I'm going to move this around. I will move this over here so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Let me move my stuff out of the way. So, can you see what I'm doing? Yes, you can. All right, so I'm off camera. I'm cleaning the bath bombs. So there's another one. Ooh, it's so cute. So, oh yes, I had a question for you. Would you guys be interested in a live? I have never done a live before. In fact, I don't really show my face very often. So you guys are having a rare treat where you get me and my face. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. However, you're getting my face. Do you like to see my face, or would you rather not see my face? Would you like to have me do a live or not do a live? That is the question of the day. So what I'm doing now is I'm just resetting. This is my reset. Once I'm done with the bath bombs, then I'll put these back in here and we'll go making onto another batch. So I am just gonna mix this together. And so there it is. And then I just hand press when I get to this point.